Greetings, everyone. This is Payman Lorenzo, your host of the Lead Wild podcast. Today, for episode number 245. Wow, 245, just five shy of the 250. I have a super captivating episode for you guys. My new good friends, Dr. Norm and his wife, Barbara. I had the pleasure of having Dr. Norm just early this morning. Phenomenal story. And now we have the both of them together. I connected first through Barabara about, 2 weeks ago on the Serving Circle. We had a conversation last week, beautiful conversation. As soon as we started talking, I said, wow, I need to bring not only both of them, but each of them separately, which I did early this morning with Norm, and then next week with Barbara, and then today, both of them. So a little bit about Barbara. Barbara is... she teaches and coaches you to live the life of your dreams while being healthy and having fun. She is a sign language interpreter, and she's teaching a class called Authentic Communication. And Norm, incredible, one of the most goosebump-inducing stories I've had since I started this podcast over 2.5 years ago and close to 250 episodes. Phenomenal story. He lost his hearing when he was a young boy and over 50 years ago. And as a result of that, he shared with us his challenges, how he turned that around, that handicap into a beautiful, wonderful gift. And how he's helping that he's using that gift to help other people, not only to prevent that, but also one of the byproduct of hearing loss, which is dementia. So he's educating and helping other people with that, and a lot of other incredible stories that we covered earlier this morning. So this is for this call. I mean, for my calls, there's no scripts in here today. Is not an exception. We're gonna just be having a good conversation, getting to know each other, and sharing wonderful stories. So, Norm, welcome back, brother. Barbara, welcome to the show, my friend.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Pleasure's all mine. Pleasure's all mine. How are you guys doing today? Let's start with Barbara. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. I just got off the phone with one of my daughters. I'm in New Mexico. She's in Massachusetts. Wow. We had, a good hour plus conversation. We do that weekly.
Beautiful.
I do that with all my distant children, make sure that we connect. And doing business, connecting with people, trying to just move some things forward. Those of us in business know you just keep following the cookie crumbs.
Absolutely. And I have a feeling that you're quite close to nature. You just, this morning, we were talking just before going live that you were busy with your garden, planting vegetables and all that. That's something that I enjoy a lot. So it's always good to be close to nature and touching the ground and all that.
Oh, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I love that. That's one of my happy places.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Norm? Do you also enjoy being in the garden and getting your hands dirty, so to speak, and giving her a hand from time to time?
I am a gopher. Go get this tool, or go get this bag of fertilizer, or go put up the fence, or go keep I'm just a gopher.
So basically, kind of like a helper.
Okay, yeah, sure. That's a good way to put it too.
That's beautiful.
He doesn't love gardening the way I do. So
what's your happy place, Norm? What do you enjoy doing that would be similar to what she enjoys, which is the garden?
I find my happy place on stage, whether I'm acting on live theater or whether I'm giving speeches, or if I am on a panel discussion, if I'm directing the show, if you will, or engaging the audience in a way that I work the audience. Speaking in public, that's what gives me happiness.
How about singing or dancing on stage?
No, I don't sing and dance. Well, that's not true. I do. I have sung and danced on stage before too.
Wow. How would you rate, Barbara, how would you rate the singing and dancing skills?
He's wonderful at it. So long as you don't have a tune you want to hear. No, I just in a way, he is also in a ukulele band.
Oh,
So they do a lot of the old songs. And to me, I'm just always amazed that this person that was deaf for so many years, he heard the Bee Gees and the Beatles and the Mamas and the Papas. He heard those things before he lost his hearing. So he's in there in the ukulele band, and he plays and he sings and he practices here. And, you know, he does a fantastic job.
I can imagine. Do you have your ukulele with you, Norm, right now?
Do I have a what now?
Do you have your ukulele with you?
Do you have your ukulele with you right now?
Oh, I don't have it in my possession, but it's in the other room.
Okay, all right, okay. So perhaps toward the end of the call, you could give us a little bit a glimpse of your talents, just for a few seconds. No pressure.
I don't think you'd want to hear. I do really well in a group, because in the group I can tell if I'm off key or not, but by myself, you
No
can go,
worries.
turn it off, please.
No worries. Beautiful. Let's start with a very start. Tell us, how did you guys meet?
Okay, I lost my hearing when I was 27, and I did not realize I had a severe, profound hearing loss until I got tested. And so I went to get I wanted to go back to college because I dropped out before. And I was 27, and the counselor said, "How are you going to hear the instructors if you can't hear them?" "Oh, I don't know." "Well, maybe have you considered sign language?" I don't know sign language. You know, it's not really my style. "Well, what are you going to do?" I said, "Okay, let's try sign language." So I learned sign language the summer before I went back. And then the instructor that taught me sign language at the university, she said, "So we need to get you some interpreters signed up for all of your classes." And I said, "Where am I going to find those?" "Well, I'll have a party. I know them all." "Oh, okay." So she had a party, and she invited all the known interpreters who were working at the university, and she showed up. And it was a costume party or Halloween party or something. She showed up as a bum with her charcoal in her face and old ratty clothes and a hat. And I looked around the room. They were all women. There was no men interpreters.
Wow.
I looked at her. I said, "She's the one."
Right away.
Right away. So
Because I was so good looking in my charcoal made up face.
Wow. Can imagine. I can only picture this. Wow.
So I scheduled her for some classes. And of course, she couldn't meet with me at all for the first year because she had another job. So I thought, well, there goes that. But then a year and a half later, she calls me. She said, "Now I'm available for interpret." She didn't call me. She let me know through other means she was available for interpreting. I said, "Okay, fine." So I scheduled her for several classes. I had several interpreters. She came in one of them, and I would in between classes, I'd say, "Oh, could you help me with this sign and that sign?" But she didn't realize I was really seducing her. And finally, I said, "Hey, look, let's go for a Coke and let's learn some sign." And then pretty soon she caught on that I was doing more than just looking for sign language help. And
Did you make
before you know it,
Did you make her an offer she couldn't refuse? Like, for example, you sign up for 4 class, I'll throw in 10 more for free, something along those lines.
Not quite. No, he didn't give me an offer I couldn't refuse with. I'll get you paid even more if you sign up for more. No.
yeah.
So Barbara, what were your reaction the first time that you saw him and you met him?
I was, I was doing sign language because it was fun. And so when I figured out I could get paid, this was back in the late 70s. I could make $10 an hour doing sign language and be in the classroom, be on campus. It was like, this is a sweet deal for me. I was probably making $5 an hour at the flower shop I was working at. So it was a major increase in pay. So to me, that was the first thing. And it was fun. Norm was in, if you know his story, he was in all kinds of trouble at the university. And so I got into places I never thought I was going to be. And it was good. It was good. So when he started saying, "Hey, let's go for coffee, let's go," I was going, okay. But then I figured it out. Yeah. It didn't take long. And
Yeah.
we were dating, what, a year or so? And I went home with him to his mom's for Christmas. And so in Illinois from New Mexico. And that's when he used one of those little sketches pads or etch a sketch or something and wrote on it, "Will you marry me?" And
Oh, that's novel. That's unique.
he had to get it in writing, you see.
To make it more official even before officializing it.
Yes, there you go. So yeah, it's been good. It's been a good 43-year run.
Absolutely. So Norm, why did you decide to propose to her in writing and not verbally?
Oh, because we were in a family situation. It was a Christmas time, and there was a whole bunch of people in the room. And we were doing what families do at Christmas time. Everybody was talking, and there was a party going on. I just kept looking at her and thinking, wow, my mom loves her, and I love her, and my sisters loved her. And I thought, I'm not going to wait any longer. So I didn't want to get on my hands and knees right there. I thought maybe I should write her a note first on the sketch pad and kind of, here, pass this around. And, I don't know, it was strange that I did it that way, but.
So how many people read your note before it arrived to her?
Actually,
passed it
only
around.
one. His son from his first marriage was there, and he actually walked it across the room and handed it to me. So I think only one.
Oh, well, I'm glad you remember that, but I'd forgotten that.
I
So
know
did
we
you
were not sitting next to each other. We were
Yeah,
across the room from each other.
So did your son read the note or no?
I don't know. I don't know.
Ask him next time,
Yeah. Do you remember that? Yeah.
So what was your reaction? Were you expecting that before he actually did that? Did that completely
No.
took you by surprise?
Took me by surprise when I looked at it. You know, there's that sketch where you like have a piece of paper that you pull up when you write it.
Yes.
So I looked at it and I thought, how am I going to answer this? Okay, sure. Why not? Yes. And send it back across the room. Yeah, it wasn't very romantic when you see all these other people proposing, but it worked.
Did you look at him and say, "Excuse me, are you for real? Are you serious?" Like that?
No, I knew him well enough to know he was serious. He was.
Where's your creativity, brother? Buddy, come on.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing. So then 43 years. Wow. So what is the secret to keeping a marriage going for 43 years and still keeping the spark alive?
Well, I think one of the things we've done very well is communicated.
That's for sure.
Yeah. We had the advantage for many years. Maybe it was an advantage. I don't know. We had the what was so is that whenever we were with other people and I was interpreting, we would maintain eye contact. And when we talked to each other, we had to look at each other. And so, you can't just kind of turn around and walk off if you want to be heard.
Sure.
So we communicate and we continue to build on our communication. Yeah.
From hearing you guys' story, it feels almost, correct me if I'm wrong, that you guys were destined to meet. It was destiny because given his handicap and given what you were doing, it was a match made in heaven.
Yeah.
Do you guys agree with that?
If you believe in destiny, I suppose. Yeah. And the other thing that I believe that has kept us together for 43 years is that we've been committed to the relationship and committed to each other. I remember at one point, as he'd been saying, we're more committed to the marriage than we are to, it was like, that was the thing that we committed to. And we kept making it work. Yeah.
That is beautiful.
I got to give credit to Norm. He always made sure it worked.
What were you doing specifically to make sure that it worked, Norm?
Oh, yes, dear.
Okay.
That's a simple answer.
3 words.
I think it was, oh, by the way, the word handicap is archaic. So it's disability, not handicap.
Okay, sorry. Yes, my bad. Okay,
Okay.
okay.
But I believe that, let's see, how can I put this? The word commitment is the thing. Sometimes we've had rough spots, but we still agreed to get through the rough spots anyway. And just the commitment was to be married, and that's what we were going to do. We just have a sense of, I believe that we have a sense of communication that's unspoken, that we will be honest with each other, and we don't hold grudges very long, and we just don't really get into the drama very long. We just kind of move through the stuff, and we're just honest with each other. And I think that's the ingredient there. Just be honest.
And
Absolutely.
One of the things I'm going to add is back before Norm got his cochlear implants, which he has now, for those of you that didn't see his episode, before that, he got all of his formal education, university, bachelor's degree, went on, did his pre-meds. When he did his pre-meds, I was the interpreter. So it was like we went to Kansas City, spent an ungodly amount of hours in classes to get chemistry, organic chemistry, all the other things done. So I was the interpreter for that.
So are you saying you went to class with them every day to help them? Wow, now that is the ultimate commitment, the ultimate
Well,
sacrifice.
they paid me for it, so I was working
Okay.
for the school or whoever was paying me for that.
It wasn't for love, it was for money.
That's not true.
So the school was paying you and Norm was feeding you to keep you happy?
There you go. And so then when we went to chiropractic school in Dallas, again, I was the interpreter for the first year and a half, 2 years for all of his classes. Now, most interpreters won't do that because if you're interpreting for more than an hour, hour and a half, you've got interpreters that swap off. So I was the interpreter. And again, the university, the chiropractic college kind of said, well, this is a good deal. You're going to college, Norm, we're paying your wife. So that, and that's not really why we did it. That was just what we did.
It was the law.
It was the law. And at one point I remember going, I can't do this anymore. I can't continue interpreting for you and being just, the interpreter with all the activities, I said, I can't do it. Either find a new interpreter or find a new wife. I can't do this anymore. And he found another interpreter. So
you could have gotten a degree alongside him at the same time because you were doing all the work alongside him, same degree.
Yeah. Several people said that, but the challenge was like in x-ray classes, the x-rays back here behind me. He's sitting in front. I can't see the x-rays and do what I'm doing. Sure. I did actually end up going, when I quit interpreting, I went and got my pre-meds and started chiropractic college. I got through about the same amount of semesters as I had interpreted for him.
Beautiful. I have a question for you, Norm. Earlier this morning, you said that you were quite shy, in school and growing up and all that. And then that affected your social life and your dating and all that. So how was it different with Barbara when you guys first started dating? What was it that made you not as shy towards her that you were toward other girls?
That's a good question.
Yeah, it's a good question. What made me not as shy towards her as I was the other girls? Well,
yeah,
I guess I was not shy towards other girls. So I took a seminar that changed my life. And I realized I didn't have to worry about what other people thought. So before I met Barbara, I started dating a lot, because I had really.
Good for you.
Yeah, thank you. I'd been a shy person, and I was afraid of girls because I thought, they're going to see my hearing aids and they're going to think I'm weird. But as soon as I got hold of my brain and started realizing I didn't have to worry about what other people thought, I dated a lot while I was dating Barbara at the same time. So it's not really true that I was shy with other girls. It's just that Barbara captured my heart in a way that the other girls could not. And there's several things that made me recognize that this was the one. Number one, she was compassionate. Number two, she was a smart person. But the big thing is she has common sense. And a lot of the girls that I dated, they just didn't have common sense. They just couldn't put 2 and 3 together to make 4. I thought, wait a minute. Anyway, Barbara she had common sense. So that's
Wow.
that attracted me to her.
Beautiful. And what about you, Barbara? What made you look at him differently given his disability?
I've told Norman this before. He was the most normal person with a disability I'd ever met. Norm did not let his hearing impairment stop him. And that was attractive to me, that he was willing to go out, maybe be in uncomfortable situations, maybe take on big projects, because his belief in it being the right thing to do was there. So that was attractive.
Beautiful.
I could always depend on him to do what he said he was going to do.
That's one thing he mentioned this morning, and he emphasized that that's one of his personal superpowers, that when he gives his word, when he commits to something, he'll do it.
Yes.
That's tremendously powerful.
In fact, at one point, I don't know if it was while we were dating or after we were married, he said to me, Barbara, would you like the moon? I'll get it for you.
Wow.
And I went, no, because you will. And I really don't want the moon. So no, thank you.
I'll give you the sun.
Although I have got, since I should have said yes. Yeah, give me the moon. Sure, absolutely. But no, because I knew he was his word.
That's beautiful, powerful. Wow. That's really inspiring, to see 2 people coming together, connecting, not just heart to heart, but soul to soul, and then making it work. And then the fact that you guys complement each other perfectly, not just with what you guys do professionally, but also, from your characteristics, your personality, you do sign language. He has a disability with that. So that alone, I truly, you guys are spiritually awakened, right? Have you guys considered doing like a together, like a past life reading regression to see if you guys were connected in the past at past life together? Because I can see that, I can feel it almost.
Oh, we've never done that. I don't think we've even had that conversation. And yeah, I believe that, my belief is that we come into this world over and over and over again. And we probably knew each other in past lives as well.
That would be a wonderful gift to give each other for whoever's birthday comes first, Do it together.
Or do it on an anniversary or something.
Exactly. There you go. When is it?
February 15th. So we've got a year or so.
Okay. So whose birthday comes the soonest?
Mine does October. Norm's in December.
October what?
22nd.
Wow. I'm October 17.
All right. Yes, another Libra in the mix. Yeah. Although
Exactly.
I'm right on the cusp.
Do you guys believe in birth dates and horoscope compatibility?
I have not studied it enough. I know that there are some people that absolutely do. I've had my chart drawn out. I put it with my birth certificate and somehow or other I've lost it. But, I think everything works.
Mm-hmm. I can tell you from personal experience, me as a Libra, there are 2 types of people I really cannot get along with, especially when it comes to dating. One is a Virgo and 2 a Gemini. Because I'm a very straightforward, but Gemini, wishy-washy sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an air sign, so I'm very high level, idea type of guy, and a Virgo is very nitty-gritty that sometimes can bore me to death with details, too practical. So those are two types of people I always have some challenges with because I've studied their characteristics. So the first thing I ask someone when I meet them, whether it's for business or for, dating, whatever, what's your sign? Oh, I'm a Virgo. Okay, nice meeting you. Good luck.
And you could say there may be something in those signs that
Yes,
you could work on.
absolutely. No, I'm joking. I don't say you have a good life, but I say it in a joking way,
Yes, yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. Now,
Mhm.
so when you guys started your life, did you guys started working together to complement each other to not only to leverage, to utilize Norm's beautiful gift and your talents as a language interpreter, to build a business together, to bring your forces together, to have a bigger impact together?
So I'll start the answer on this one. I'm sure you'll jump in.
You'll have your turn, Norm. So
Yeah. When we first got married, I had gotten my teaching degree, and I went and taught third grade for a year. That was it. That was done. No more. Then I did something else for about 9 months and did something else for about 9 months. And Norman was doing some things also. And the long and short of it is we had an opportunity because I knew enough about the desktop computers. This was just when they were coming out again back in the late 70s, early 80s. And he had done computer stuff with punch cards at a company that he was with. And we were both in a place where we said, you know what? Let's just start a business training people how to use desktop computers.
wow.
And so we had a company here in Albuquerque that said, here's the classroom, come in, teach our people. So we did. So for 4 years, almost 5, we ran that business. And
The way it would work is that I would call people on the phone and it had a speaker on it, and she would sign the conversation.
Wow.
So I was talking to the person, she was signing the conversation, and I'd make the deal, and she'd be in the background typing up proposals and editing proposals and contracts. And then I would set the whole thing up, and then she'd come into the classroom and we would take turns. She would teach sometimes and sign, and or if I was teaching, if somebody had a question, she would sign the question. And whenever we went out on interviews together, right away I said, oh, this is my wife, my business partner, but she's also my sign language interpreter. So anything you say, she will sign. We're not talking to each other. We're actually having a conversation with you as she signs. And that's how we ran the business pretty much.
Yep. And so we have done that for how many years? Did we do that?
That particular company was
when did you get your first Cochlear implant?
2000.
2000. So for 20 years.
Yeah.
For 20 years we
Wow.
did that. Yeah.
So when you're on the phone, Norm, with your prospect, your client, they had no idea that you had someone just translate for you.
No, they didn't, because she was so fast that there was not a pause or hesitation.
Did
You
you
have to wait?
did you from time to time meet those people in person, and then she was beside you and they were wondering, what is she doing? I knew, okay, she's my interpreter. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was part of my being bold and unreasonable, is that I don't care what you people think. She's here, she's going to sign, so let's get on with it.
That's powerful. Wow.
And what's interesting when in that situation, because sometimes people would look at me and they'd say, well, tell him that, and I'd say, tell him that whatever they said, I would be word for word what they said. And he'd sometimes, depending on the person, he'd look at me and say, well, tell them. Because it's like, no, talk to him. That's who the conversation with it doesn't, it's going through me, but it's not to me.
Sometimes we'd be in line at a grocery store and in the line, and then we were talking to each other, and then the clerk would say to me, oh, ask her if she has the correct change, or ask her if she wants this item. And I'd say, oh, Barbara, do you want this item? And she signed back without saying anything, and I said, yeah, she wants this item. We had a lot of fun with that, with
Yes.
people thinking that she was deaf
Yeah,
because she was signing.
Yeah.
They didn't understand the interpreter role. And we did that at parties too,
mhm,
where we go into this big party and I would pretend like I was a hearing person and she'd pretend like she was deaf. And we had it down so well that I could read lips well enough to pull this off for hours.
well, and people didn't know what I was saying, if I was signing,
Yeah.
so I was like, yeah, we played.
It would have been golden to have someone with a camera following you back then. That would, you guys should do it now, it'd be fun.
Yeah, we could get away with it still, yeah.
Yeah.
So for many years, that was like, we were literally joined at the hip. And
Wow,
Norman
yes.
led things, and I, followed along.
That is the perfect teamwork. And that
Yeah.
is, I believe, one of the reasons that you guys have been able to make it work so long, so beautifully all these years. Because you're more
And
than
then-
just connected at the hip, you're connected at the soul. I can see
Yeah,
that.
there you go, there you go.
And then when I got my cochlear implant, things changed.
Mhm, mhm.
I realized that I could be independent. I didn't need to have an interpreter with me. I started answering the phone and I started doing things outside of our marriage, such as going to meetings where she was not there.
Mhm.
Where before she would always have to go with me to a meeting. And she started to evolve into becoming her person
Mhm.
and leading the people that we had in our direct sales company. She took that on as a leader. And then we started to split like a tree. A tree grows up like that, and you have branches. We stayed the tree, but the branches were over here doing this. So she was here and I was doing here, but we were still the same two people, but we had our separate interests and we did our businesses in different ways.
So now, Norm, are you able to, you said you're able to function independently. Are you able to, with the implants, to hear normally or no?
I'm able to hear totally
Normally.
normally. Yeah, I have a 96%
Beautiful.
comprehension rate in both ears separately in a soundproof booth. And I used technology on my computer that gives me direct access directly to my ears. I don't have to go through the sound waves. And I'm on the phone. I can hear on the phone just fine, 99% of the time. And when I go, like, for example, when I was doing acting on stage, she couldn't follow me around on the stage. I was up there doing my own thing, hearing the cues when I was supposed to start speaking my lines. And I go to meetings now where I'm the president of organizations, or have been at times, and I run the show. I mean, I'm the guy that hears everything. So
Mhm.
yeah, I'm totally independent.
How long have you had your implants?
I got my first implant when I was 23 years ago.
Okay.
And I got the second one 14 years later.
So do you take them off, let's say when you sleep, when you take a shower?
Yes. When I
Okay.
go to sleep and when I take a shower.
Does it take a lot of time? Is it easy to put them back and remove them or? Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's easy.
There's a magnet stuck to the side of, there's a magnet in this device here. And there's a magnet in my skull where the microprocessor is implanted. And so they hook up to each other through a magnet. And then this port here hangs off my ear.
So if someone that has the same disability as you, but let's say they have hair, would the magnet still work as efficiently or no?
If someone has hair, does it work?
Oh, no, I used to have hair down to my shoulder and I put hearing aids.
Ah,
I just move my hair out of the way and shove it up there so the
okay.
hair doesn't interfere.
Okay. Beautiful.
They're pretty strong magnets.
Yeah. Wow. The fact that you demonstrated it, that it's very easy to put and back on, that would be an amazing testimonial for the actual. I told you earlier this morning when we talked to approach, you've been wearing the same brand for, I don't know, all these years, maybe approach them and try to do some kind of partnership with them, and they can bring you on in conferences, seminars, trade shows and whatnot, and make you like a spokesperson, just like the guy that became a spokesperson for Subway. He lost a bunch of weight. He became the number one spokesperson, and they signed a contract, and everybody was happy.
Yeah, I'm gonna pursue that.
Yeah,
I'm
definitely.
committed, but
Because you would be their poster child, so to speak.
Yes.
You've been using it probably longer than anyone, that they've been in business for, probably. So you would be the ideal no-brainer for them.
Well, the other thing that his audiologist told him, because he is hearing so well in his last evaluation, hearing so well in the soundproof booth, she called you an outlier, didn't she?
well, she said my hearing was remarkable, and I was hearing way beyond what other people with a similar loss have. Well, I said, "Oh, you mean I'm an outlier?" She said, "Yeah, you are remarkable. I'm very impressed with your hearing." So I don't want to misquote her, but yeah, I told her I was an
Okay.
outlier. She agreed. Yeah.
Okay, good.
I wish I had met you 2-3 years ago when my father was still alive, because he had also pretty severe hear loss. Bless you. So, and this is a product that would have helped him a lot, but it was, everything happens for a reason. So this is a powerful product. This is transformational. This is life-changing.
It is.
It really opens, so to speak, your ears to the world and give you a way to live a normal life again.
Yes, absolutely.
So I'm pretty sure there has to be a way for you to really collaborate with a company. I mean, they would be stupid if they didn't do it with you, because, hey, you're probably the longest serving customer, and you're a tremendous success story.
I agree. I'm going to tell them that you'd be stupid if you don't hire me.
You can take footage of that, seriously, and send it to them. The last 5-10 minutes, how you demonstrated and all that,
I'll tell them Lorenzo said, I'll tell you, you're stupid for not hiring me.
Absolutely. And if they want to talk to me, send them to me. I'll make them an offer they can refuse.
Okay.
Awesome. So are you guys still working in that business together?
We have between the two of us, we have 3 businesses. She
Yeah.
has authentic communication. I'll tell you, you can tell your story, but my business is public speaking, professional speaking about dementia, hearing loss. But together, that tree I told you about before, together we have the direct sales business that really funds what we do, so we can branch out and do the other activities that generate more money, because we have a foundation in the direct sales business.
Yep, true that.
Beautiful, beautiful. What's next for you guys? What's your next move to amplify your impact?
Well, we're going to plan a cruise to the Mediterranean soon.
Wow. That's exciting.
Yes. And I love your question. What's our next move to amplify our impact?
Well, yeah, that too.
I mean, that's his
Thank you.
question.
I know.
So,
I'm just,
yeah.
I'm bantering, you get my banter. Sometimes I don't answer the question directly. I kind of goof off a little bit, but that's my personality. But go ahead.
I love that.
And I'm not sure. I know what I'm doing in my on my branches. I know what I'm doing over there. I know what Norman's doing over in his. I think all of that's creating an impact. And it's really all about wellness and health. And that's our roots.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dennis Waitley years ago did a song called Roots and Wings.
Mm.
And that's what I feel like we've done. We've got a great set of roots on our tree that gives us stability and our income and our health and all of that. And then we're also taking wings and doing the other things that bring us joy and turn lights on for other people.
Beautiful. Love that. My podcast, what I do, my book, everything I do is about impact. My motto is helping good people with beautiful hearts and powerful messages to win. And you guys are some of the best prime example of that. I love Norm's, dedication, commitment, will to fight no matter what, overcome all kinds of, challenges no matter what. And I love you bring compassion to the table on top of your common sense and your big heart. So I can see why you guys have been so successful, not only in business, but most importantly in life and everything you do in your family. So this is truly powerful. And very welcome. This is a kind of stories that really warms my heart, that gives me back to me belief back in humanity, because when you see that, especially today, when you see couples, not even lasting 2 weeks or whatnot, marriages falling apart, when you see someone coming together that after 43 years, they're still as if they were in the first day, still giggling as they were teens in love, I can see the chemistry between you two is beautiful. Seriously. Oh, if it wasn't a podcast, I would ask for a kiss, but no, I will kiss. Oh, wow. Oh, I'm blushing. Thank you. This is so beautiful. Wow. Thank you, guys. Thank you for blessing the world with what you're doing, with your presence, with your impact. You guys are really warming my heart. And seriously, I'm getting emotional because it's so beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
All right.
Listen, we can talk for hours. Go ahead. Sorry, Norm, go ahead.
Yeah, I want to share one thing. I was giving
Please.
a speech, a workshop at the chiropractic conference here in New Mexico a couple of weeks ago. And they were in the speech, I did say, because Barbara was in the audience, I did say, now I can hear pretty much everything that everybody says, but I know sign language, and my wife was a sign language interpreter when I was going through chiropractic college. She's in the audience. So if I don't hear you, she will sign. So don't think I'm ignoring you. I'm just watching her. She supported me all these years that I couldn't hear with sign language. So one of the chiropractors said in public to the group, so tell him what she said. Tell him what she said.
Well, she said to me, I want you to know that I'm acknowledging your relationship with Norm. I see who you are. I see how you're showing up. And I just really, and she, all of a sudden, tears start coming down her eyes, and I'm going, oh dear.
You deserve the recognition.
Yeah, she said, you deserve the recognition. It's like, okay. So I actually, you don't know this, but I called her today because we were talking. She sent me her name and her email and her phone number and whatnot. So I called her today, and I said, okay, great. We've got our appointment set up. I said, how do you want me to call you? Do you want me to call you doctor, or do I just call you by your first name? And she goes, oh no, we've gone way beyond the professional stuff. No, you call me by my first name. I went, okay, good.
Yeah.
So it was very sweet. Yeah.
I want to ask you a question. Have you guys imagined what your life would have been if you hadn't met each other?
No.
Never thought about it.
I can't even think about it.
Wow, that is beyond powerful.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I can't even imagine.
This is the final confirmation. You guys are definitely, connected to soul. You might even be not just soulmates, but even twin flames.
Yeah, I haven't heard that frame.
Yeah.
Right.
Look into that. It's really fascinating when you learn about what makes a twin flame. A twin flame is even more powerful, deeper connection than even a soulmate, because a soulmate can even be a friend, a boss, or someone. And a soulmate can even be someone that in this life is an enemy, but they're just playing that role to help you, at the highest level, to help you learn whatever lesson you came here to learn. So it can be, for example, your worst enemy in this lifetime, but that can be a soulmate. Whereas a twin flame is someone that you have a pure heart-to-heart connection that is beyond even the soulmate. And I see that in you guys. You guys are, I would bet probably, that you guys are more than soulmates, that you guys are twin flames.
So and I know this is, you're interviewing us, but I'm curious, when you speak to those things, where does that come from in you? Is it study that you've done? Tell me more.
That's a great question. Sometimes when I rewatch my own episodes, especially before releasing them, I can't tell you how many times I've asked myself, wait a second, where the hell is that coming from? Did I really say that? Sometimes when I speak, honestly, I haven't studied anything on the spirituality. I was not spiritual before. I've had a spiritual awakening as a result of the past 2-3 years. The podcast has been probably the greatest vehicle, the greatest platform, the greatest facilitator for me to have my awakening, because I've been talking all day long for the past 3 years, almost since October of 2020, with incredible art-centered spiritual entrepreneurs. And of course, as a result of that, I've consumed a godless amount of, content online, especially on YouTube, books, devouring anything to do with spirituality and all that. But I haven't studied this. Sometimes it's almost as if they're being channeled to me sometimes, because I say things that I've never said before, and I normally don't say when I'm having normal conversation. At least before. Now, because I've been saying those things, they become almost part of me. When I speak to people, of course, people who are spiritually awakened, not to any random person, I tend to say those things.
Yeah, that makes sense. I get that.
Yeah. And I've written it in my books and all that. So on my podcast. But that's a beautiful question. And for me, this is what I love doing, what I'm doing. So I took 6 months off. I traveled, completely forgot about the podcast. Sure, I did a few episodes here and there, but nothing like here. So when I came back 3 weeks ago, back home in Toronto, Canada, I've been on calls from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. nonstop.
Wow.
But I enjoy it because I'm having wonderful conversations with incredible people. I only talk with people, not just who have a powerful stories, because we all, no exception, have a powerful story. But I'm looking for people who have goosebump inducing stories. And honestly, both of you, Norm and Barbara, you're blessed to have a phenomenal, inspiring, empowering, but most importantly, goosebump inducing stories. And I'm so honored, delighted, and blessed that we connected, because you have such a beautiful story. And I love talking to, I can't wait till we can actually meet in person. This would be a wonderful conversation over a good bottle of wine, steak, good dinner over 2-3 years, 2-3 hours, having a conversation outside and on the patio, That would be
We've
beautiful.
got several restaurants just like that in Albuquerque. So
Oh, yes.
come on down.
Absolutely. I'm looking with my publisher to host an event in person, maybe not this year, but next year. Not for business. It's going to be mainly as a way to connect, to meet in person with all the wonderful souls I've met on my podcast, my academy, and my book. And most of these people are in the US. Of course, there's some in Canada and Europe and Australia. It would be a perfect opportunity for all of us to come together, to meet in person.
Yeah.
I can't wait until that day.
Good.
And when we do that, you guys will be definitely, I would love to have you guys as a VIPs in there.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
You're
Thank you so
welcome.
much, Lorenzo. Yeah.
Pleasure.
I appreciate you doing what you do, and I appreciate you doing it with the enthusiasm, and yet you are grounded and you are centered.
Thank
and
you.
you listen. And I appreciate you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. But, I wasn't like that. Just like Norm mentioned earlier, I used to be painfully shy.
Yeah.
I was a very bad communicator. I would, interject and interrupt people before they finish the sentences. And as a result of me having this conversation, I became a better communicator, better listener, because that's why God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth. We need to listen twice as much as we need to speak, even though I still tend to speak too much at times. But I've still been able to improve in that aspect. So it's a lifelong journey.
Yes, it is. It is.
But I'm blessed to be doing what I'm doing. Seriously. Seriously. I don't do this for the money. I do it for the connection. For me, the two most beautiful rewards in business. Number one, the transformation I'm having and I'm helping having in the life of my clients and the people I work with. Number two, the wonderful and beautiful relationships and friendships I build in the process. The money is icing on the cake, is not the cake. When you put your business and your attentions around transformation, impact, and truly helping the person you're working with, believe it or not, it's not cheesy. The money takes care of itself.
Yep.
I've been blessed. I've seen that in my life. So anyways, enough rambling from me. I love what you're doing. I love talking to you guys. So yeah. So if someone wants to connect with you guys in your business, what is the best way to do so?
Go to purplemulch.com.
Purple MAL.
Yeah. PURPLEMULCH.com.
All right. Send me your links. Any links you want me to share, I will put it in the show notes. And absolutely wonderful conversation today. I've been blessed to have two powerful. I did two podcast episodes, one powerful one early this morning with Norm, one together with both of you. And I will make a confession. I wasn't ready to do a podcast with both of you today. I was expecting it to be just with you, Barabara. So I was thinking of God, so we're together. Wow, I'm not prepared. But you know what? There's no need to be prepared. Just have a wonderful conversation, heart to heart.
There you go. Well, you did well.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So
given that we kind of threw you a surprise.
Yeah, I absolutely love your story, how you guys connected. Beautiful, very heartwarming. So I salute both of you. You're true leaders with a heart to the highest sense. Keep shining your light, keep blessing the world with your presence, with your impact, with your vision, with your love, with your teamwork, with everything you're doing. Stay safe, stay awesome. God bless both of you. And we'll definitely going to be talking a lot more soon. Thank you, guys. Take care.
All right. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Have a great afternoon.